Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Halloween episode of the Epcotian Adventure. I am your host, Rod.
And I'm your host, Sue.
Well, that wasn't scary at all.
Well, I'm just not really scary.
Well, okay. Well, howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 87 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And this is our Halloween episode. Yay!
Yay! Now, last year we did an episode for Halloween that was ghost stories from Disneyland, from the West Coast parks. And we did sort of allude to the fact that this year we would be bringing you some ghost stories from the East Coast parks. However, so because we do have this Disneyland Paris trip happening, we decided to sort of do a nod to the Disneyland Paris park, and we're going to bring you something a little special.
In the past, we've done Choose Your Own Adventures, and we've done other informational types of
like this
explorations, like this or that. This is going to be another Choose Your Own Adventure, but with Phantom Manor, which is the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland Paris.
Now, Phantom Manor opened with the park when it was Euro Disney way back when, and that was in 1992. It actually was an opening day attraction. It was originally narrated by the late, great Vincent Price.
Such a good voice for that attraction.
Now, rumor has it that while they were doing all of their plotting and planning for this episode, that the Imagineers had the radio playing in the background, and Thriller came on, Michael Jackson's Thriller. And it ends, of course, with Vincent Price and his iconic laugh. And that is what triggered them to actually approach him and have him do the narration for the ride. Now, he did the English. In the past, I have said, I will correct myself here, I have said that Vincent Price did the narration for Phantom Manor in both the English and the French. That was the original intention. However, when they presented him with the French, he wasn't quite as fluent as they had led them to believe. And I guess his accent was so bad that they actually brought in a French actor named Gerard Chevalier. I don't know if he's a relation or not, but
to Maurice
Chevalier.
Ooh.
But this is who they brought in, and he did a great imitation of Vincent Price. So when you listen, you don't hear that it's a different voice. It sounds like Vincent Price all the way through.
Yeah, because the narration inside the Ghost Host is in both French and English. Everything at Disneyland Paris is in French first, English second. Very different from the Tokyo parks, where it's in English first, Japanese second. The French culture, they're number one, then the English.
Yeah,
So,
it's interesting because the reason they actually did this is because there's actually a French law. It was by law that a certain percentage of the ride narration had to be in French, which I just found fascinating.
I did not know that, but
Right?
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Being from California and seeing the parks in Tokyo, it was very easy to read everything. Everything was in English. Going to Disneyland Paris, it's like, wow, everything's in French, but little bitty English subtitles underneath. Yeah.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yes. So unlike the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, where it's clean outside, Walt wanted it to be clean outside and let the ghosts take care of the inside. Phantom Manor is in Frontierland. It's an old, dilapidated, very dusty, very dirty, beautiful mansion. You walk in through the queue, kind of up the hillside, up to the mansion, much like you would see the Psycho House almost. And,
there's a rumor that the outside is actually based on the Psycho House.
I can see that, actually.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, just Google a picture of it, see what I mean. We'll post some pictures on Instagram and Facebook for that as well, of course. Phantom Manor is a much darker version of the Haunted Mansion story. It has a screaming ghost host, or laughing ghost host, that taunts you through the entire ride. You get buried alive in the cemetery and end up in a western ghost town. Okay, I don't understand the whole plot line for the attraction. It's gorgeous inside, though, and very different from the Haunted Mansion that you see at Disneyland, at Tokyo, Walt Disney World. Completely different. But it's still the Haunted Mansion.
It also overlooks the river and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And in the storyline, they're actually linked And it's rumored that Henry Ravenswood, who is the owner of Phantom Manor, was a partial owner in the mine at Big Thunder Mountain.
Ooh, which makes him a member of the SEA.
Yes, it does.
Oh, Disney Imagineering is smart when it comes to the story.
Now, in SEA lore, he was a co-owner and sold the property to the gentleman who was in SEA. So there's a little discrepancy there of about 10 years difference. But yes, he was the precursor to the SEA owner.
That's true, because it is part of the sub-area called Thunder Mesa, where Thunder Mountain resides.
Why, yes, it is.
I love that. Well, folks, we're going to jump right in to a brand new choose-your-own adventure, Phantom Manor.
All right, I'm going to lead you through a little story. You're going to make your own decisions. We're going to see what the outcome is, and beware, there are ways that you can end the story prematurely, shall we say.
I don't want to be 1,000.
Should we start off by saying, welcome, foolish mortals? Or, bienvenue, les mortels téméraires?
Ooh. I got a old chilly bump there.
You step out of the train car, set down your single valise, and stretch the soreness out of your muscles. It's been a long journey, but you finally arrived, and you can't help but notice that no other passengers have disembarked with you. But you don't mind. That only means that there's more profit for you, if all goes well. Taking up your bag, you head away from the train station and into the town proper. A signpost up ahead tells you that you're in the right place. Welcome to Thunder Mesa. Population, but the number's a little blurred, as if maybe it's been crossed out and rewritten many times over.
Uh-oh.
Best as you can figure, it's 999. But that seems a little too specific to be completely accurate. Dusk approaches as you continue along the main road. You pass several businesses, all of which seem to be closed, but you do spot some signs of life. To your left, you see a path to a mining camp, and to your right, a large house up on the hill with lights shining from several windows. Which way will you choose?
Well, I mean, I just got to town. I think I want to go see the mining camp.
All right, let's check it out. You enter the mining camp and spot several tents set up in a vast clearing near the mine's entrance. 4 men, grizzled and weary, sit around a campfire roasting something on sticks. Good evening, gentlemen, you say as you approach. We don't want any, the one on the farthest side of the fire tells you. Whatever it is you're selling, you can take it right back to where you come from. You laugh good-naturedly. Not selling anything. I'm new in town, and I have a meeting with Mr. Ravenswood. I hear he has partial ownership of this very mine, and I thought I might find him about. You get no response. So you press further. Is he about? The good Mr. Ravenwood is not about, as you say. He ain't been about in years. I suppose if I'd angered an ancient spirit with my greed, caused the earth to quake, killing half the town folk, I'd hide away too. But who am I to say what's what?
Oh my.
If and you have a meeting with him, you can take yourself up to his estate up there on that thar hill. Taking in their words with a grain of salt, you thank the men for their time and turn to go. And mister, you have no need to tell folks you're new to town. We can tell. You laugh nervously. The suitcase gave me away, did it? Nah, he says. You're still breathing, ain't you? The 4 men cackle as you walk away, a little quicker than strictly necessary. The house looms larger as you approach, climbing the overgrown walkway and taking in your surroundings. What looks to be a charming manor now looks dilapidated and unkempt. A gazebo to the left catches your eye, and a flickering light reveals that it's been set for tea. A music box plays a haunting melody, giving you a shiver down your spine, and as you glance away, you could swear you see the teapot move. You ignore the illusion and move purposely to the front door. Do you knock, or do you have second thoughts and head back to the train station?
Well, I came this far. I'm gonna knock.
Ooh, daring, aren't ya?
Maybe.
Let's find out. Without hesitation, you knock 3 strong raps on the front door. Before you can have second thoughts, the door opens, revealing an older woman in a maid's uniform. She tucks her graying hair beneath her cap and greets you. This way, sir. The master will see you now. You follow her into the small foyer. You may set your luggage here by the door, sir. You do as she suggests, and when you look again, the woman is gone. Guess I'll wait here, then, you ask to the room in general. Not one for idly standing by, you study a painting on the far wall. A sad-looking woman in a wedding gown is front and center, with an angry man behind her. In the background is a tree with 4 hearts, which have been X'd out, and is that a noose? You move closer, blinking rapidly, but find that you were quite mistaken. The woman is smiling in a summer dress, the man laughing alongside her, and the tree is full of leaves and a simple swing that hangs from its branches. The loneliness of this place must be getting to you. Would you like to continue to wait, or do you wander off to find Mr. Ravenswood on your own?
I think I'll wait here.
You gonna wait for him?
I'm gonna wait for him.
All right. You decide to wait for the maid to return, or perhaps to greet Mr. Ravenswood and get this meeting over with. After only a few moments, a door opens to your right, seemingly of its own accord. Hello? You call, unsure of your next move. Do come in, says a voice from inside. Against your better judgment, you do. You step inside an octagonal space, 4 portraits hanging on the walls. Hello, you call again. You see no one, but the disembodied voice greets you. Welcome, my curious friend. It's so nice to have a guest. Confused, you call out into the dim light. Mr. Ravenswood? Not really a guest. I'm here for a business meeting. I know why you're here. You're here for the same reason they were all here. You're here for her. For my sweet daughter, my Melanie. The lights brighten on the 4 portraits so you can see them better. Each shows the same woman as the painting in the foyer, but with 4 different men. You may not believe it, the voice continues, but beauty once lived in this house. Barry thought to claim her first, then Sawyer, then Rowan, and Ignatius, and Jake, and now you. But not all tales have happy endings. To your utter amazement, the room begins to change, undergoing a disquieting metamorphosis. Is this room actually stretching, or is it your imagination? As you look on, you see that the woman has disappeared from all of the paintings, leaving only the suitors behind, each left to a terrible fate. A bear attack, an encounter with a buzzsaw, a waterfall, and a barrel of dynamite with a lit fuse. It appears everyone here is doomed, says the voice. Even you. It's only now that you realize the door you entered through is sealed shut, not even visible in the walls that surround you. The lights go out, and only the image of a phantom remains in the ceiling above you, taunting you with a rope and a maniacal laugh. Don't worry, the voice tells you, as the lights resume in their dim luminescence. The real beauty of this house awaits us farther on, and she's dying to meet you. A door swings open in front of you. Do you walk through it, or would you like to try to find another way on your own?
Well, I've been around several of these haunted mansions, and I know I better walk through the door.
Gonna go the way that's offered?
Yes.
All right. You step through the newly revealed doorway on trembling legs. A long hallway in front of you. More portraits line the walls. You try to ignore the fact that these paintings, like the others, also seem to change. A pirate ship that catches fire. A cowboy on a cliff overlooking a mountain railroad, where all of the inhabitants have turned to ghosts. A duel, where it appears one of the participants is shooting the other man in the back. And most disturbing of all, a portrait of Henry Ravenswood himself, turning into a gruesome phantom. A haunting voice sings a melancholy tune, growing louder as you approach the end of the hall where the largest portrait yet hangs, Melanie in her bridal gown, and you could swear the singing is coming from her. You round the corner to find that you're in a grand hall with an even grander staircase. You ascend the stairs step after creaky step, when suddenly before you stretches a long, almost endless hallway. Melanie and the phantom appear and disappear in the distance, only their candelabra remaining constant. Do you join them, or do you continue your search to find a way out?
I think I'm going to continue the search to find a way out.
Turning quickly, you dash around the next corner, and you find yourself in a conservatory. Floor-to-ceiling windows show you that a storm is brewing outside, lightning flashing to light your way. A piano plays itself, a dissonant version of a wedding march. Only shadows and red-eyed raven for an audience. Loud knocking greets you as you keep moving forward into yet another hallway, this one lined with door after door after door, each one containing inhabitants knocking, pounding, shouting. Even the wallpaper seems to watch you as you cower inside, your footsteps moving faster to leave this hall of horrors. A new voice rises above the cacophony. Goblins and ghoulies, creatures of fright, we summon you now to dance through the night. Well, sure, that's probably fine. So you enter a circular room, a misty haze permeating the air, and you find a round table with a crystal ball. Inspecting it closer, you find that the ball holds a blue-tinged image of a woman's face. Would you like to speak to this woman? Or do you continue your search to find a way out?
Oh, we gotta talk to Miss Madame Leota.
Ooh. All right, let's see what she has to say. The woman's face is still, eyes closed, almost peaceful in her repose as you approach the crystal ball. Pardon me, ma'am, I don't know how this device works. Can you hear me? Her eyes fly open, dark pupils staring straight into your soul. I am Madame Leota. I hear all from the spirit world, but rest assured, I can also hear your insignificant pleas. What do you require? Speak carefully, for all requests come with a price. I can pay you, you tell her. I just need to find a way out of this Phantom Manor. Can you see my future? Do I make it out safely? Can you show me the way? She closes her eyes, and you gasp as the crystal ball lifts from the table, floating on an imperceptible current of icy air. Your past is clear to me, and I can see you've made some unwise decisions thus far. Your future, however, is shrouded in darkness. There are many paths, but only one will lead you to your desired fate. Choose wisely, curious one, and you just may see daylight again. A clock begins to chime as the crystal lowers itself back to the tabletop. Where do I go from here? Join now the spirits in nuptial doom. A ravishing bride, a vanishing groom. A light suddenly brightens to your left, and you can hear raucous laughter and organ music emanating from that direction. Do you join the wedding party, or do you retreat into the hallway you came through?
Do I go forward or go back? I think in this case, I'm going to go to the party. I made it this far. Do a little ballroom dancing.
All right. Let's go to the party. You follow the incongruous sounds of the party, unable to curb your curiosity, and find yourself in a formerly opulent ballroom. Discordant organ music fills the air while ghostly guests surround you. Some bring wedding presents in by the armload, some dancing and swirling, waltzing patterns as you take it all in. On the table in the center of the room, you see what was once a beautiful wedding cake, now molded and decaying. And on the far end, Melanie stands on a staircase, still in her bridal best, crying as her father, the Phantom, laughs over her. His glee at her despair hits you in the heart. From all of the evidence you've seen, this poor woman has already lost 4 different suitors to terrible accidents. Or maybe they weren't accidents at all. Did Mr. Ravenswood assist in their deaths? Are you now a captive of not only a horrifying phantom, but a murderer as well? And more importantly, are you next? You flee the ballroom, stumbling into the first room you come to, only to find that it's Melanie's boudoir. Blushing, you realize you should let yourself right back out again, but that blasted curiosity calls. Do you explore the room, or do you politely make your exit?
I think I should politely make my exit.
Wisely, you decide to make a quiet retreat from Melanie's bedroom. But as you turn to leave, a bright flash of lightning illuminates the whole room. You realize with a start that what you thought was a window on the far wall is actually a glass door. You run for it, throwing aside the curtain and grasping at the handle. It opens easily, and you find that you're on a terrace. Through the driving rain, you can't see much, but you don't have to see to know you need to get away from this house. You sprint through the overgrown garden, branches and brambles catching at your ankles, soaked through to the skin from the storm, when you're suddenly brought up short by a tall figure looming before you. You know immediately it's the Phantom. He uses a shovel to gesture to the open earth at his feet. You drop your head, knowing now that you've been beat. Come now, he says. This isn't the end. Join our jamboree. He points again to the open grave, and you step in as he throws a shovel full of dirt after you. And again, he's laughing. Always laughing. To your surprise, the Phantom wasn't lying. A celebration of sorts is taking place under the earth. An Old West town in poor repair awaits, complete with saloon, a phantasmic poker game, 4 singing busts who welcome you to the catchy tune, and even dancing girls, though they're not quite the beauties they most likely once were. You meander through the dusty streets, and a ticket master calls out to you, offering a good deal on train tickets to the underworld. You kindly decline, but then come face to face with a man who proudly wears a badge declaring himself mayor. "Welcome, my boy, welcome! We don't see the likes of you around these parts. Welcome to Phantom Canyon. Had an earthquake a few years back that had a flood of folks joining us, so we built up this here town to enjoy while we wait to board the train. In fact, we now have 999 happy haunts here." He holds out a golden key to you, and although everything else around you is covered in dust and decay, the key shines brightly. Would you like to make it an even 1,000? Do you take the key, or do you carry on your own?
Well, he was a nice enough guy. I'll take the key.
All right. You can't resist the shiny golden treasure, reminding you too much of the gold you came here for in the first place. As soon as you touch it, you feel the transformation begin. You feel lighter, shedding your mortal coil with ghoulish delight. "Thank you, sir," you tell the mayor. No, my boy, thank you. Now I can finally take my turn on the train." He pins his mayor badge to your now tattered waistcoat, pats you on the shoulder, and with a grin and a wink, leaves you to your destiny.
Well, at least I'm the mayor now.
Would you like to hear your alternate end?
I would love to hear the alternate end. That was really, by the way, Sue, that was fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
So here's some applause for you. Right, yes. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you. Here's the alternate ending. There's several different ways you could have died along the way.
Yeah, I noticed I made it through. I'm a little surprised, actually.
Do you want to hear a couple of them?
Yeah, let's go ahead. What's the alternate ending?
The alternate ending, had you chosen to decline the key from the mayor. "No, thank you, sir," you say with the tip of your hat, moving past the mayor before you can allow the golden key to entice you. You stride down the street with purpose, though you can't say exactly where you're going. You discover a wine cellar and decide to take a peek. You almost sag in relief as you realize that this cellar appears to be real. Buried in the earth with the Phantom Town, yes, but real, with real wine and a real exit. Gratefully, you climb out of the cellar into a graveyard, damp with the rain that has just passed by and crisp, clean air greeting you in the moonlight. You don't waste another moment but head toward the gates. As you creak open the gates to head back into the world of the living, you hear a steady heartbeat emanating from the grave nearest you. You can't resist a quick glance. Curse your ever-loving curiosity. Melanie Ravenswood reads the tombstone. You shiver, looking back one last time at the Phantom Manor. And you're not sure, but somewhere on the breeze, you can swear you can hear Melanie's melodic voice beckoning you still. "Hurry back," she calls. "Hurry back."
That is... Wow. Really nice job there, sis.
Thank you. I do enjoy writing. I don't enjoy performing.
You did well.
It made me real nervous. You also could have died in the hallway.
Oh, wow.
Had you chosen... Well, there's so many hallways. I never realized.
True, yeah.
They're everywhere. But had you chosen not to go to the ballroom and gone back through the hall of doors, you're in no mood for a party. You want out. And the only way you can be assured of that is to go back the way you came to find the front door again. With determination, you head back into the hallway of doors, trying not to look left or right as you go, trying not to hear the cries and shrieks of desperation and agony. You only get a few steps in when 2 bony hands grab your arms from behind. You scream in useless terror as you're dragged inch by inch into the darkness that lies behind the door.
Oh, I've been behind that door. It actually goes back up towards the queue up above. Well, it's Disneyland. I don't know.
Well, yes.
I think we called that door number 2, actually.
So good thing you chose to attend the ballroom.
Definitely.
And then had you chosen to stay and explore Melanie's bedroom, this was your other ending. The soft melody of a music box catches your attention, so peaceful after the boisterous bedlam of the ballroom. You close your eyes, swaying gently to the tune, getting lost in the moment. When you open your eyes again, you see Melanie standing before you. Her eyes are rimmed in red from tears, but her ghostly pallor has taken on an almost rosy hue, and she reaches for you. I knew you'd come for me, she tells you, her words little more than a breath. Have I not suffered long enough, my love? Raven hair spills over her shoulders beneath her veil, and you suddenly realize this is why you came here. All memories of business meetings and ghost stories disappear as you take her slender hand. You'll be mine, she whispers, forever. Yes, you reply, stepping in to embrace her. Forever. The end.
Whoa.
So there's several ways you could have met your end. You did real good.
Well, thank you. You did real good, too.
That was fun.
Well, folks, that was a Choose Your Own Adventure for this Halloween night. What did you think? Let us know. We'd love to do some more of these. Give us some ideas for what other Disney Choose Your Own Adventures you'd like to see down in the comments.
And let us know how far you would have made it. When would you have veered off the path?
And happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
Before we'd go, we'd like to give a big thank you to our theme music composer, Jason Patrick Rowan, whose music is licensed through Pond 5. And, of course, thank you, Phoenician.
Thank you, Phoenicians. And don't forget to rate, review, like, share, and subscribe. It really does help other people find us. You can find us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts.
The Epcotian Adventure is a $1,000 brunch production and a proud gold member of D23. Thanks for joining us this chilly night for episode 87 of the Epcotian Adventure. I'm Rod.
And I'm Sue.
And happy Halloween.